already. Okay, so I think the recording has started. Good morning, good afternoon, and greetings to all of you from the International Cooperative Alliance Committee on Cooperative Research from the Asia and Pacific region. My name is Mohit Dave, and I serve as a secretary to this committee and will be your host for this COOP Colloquium 3.0 this morning. The colloquium is basically an initiative by the committee to start an academic dialogue on issues that are relevant to cooperative education and research. As you may know, the experience of the cooperative scholarship across the Asia and Pacific is very rich and diverse. So the committee would like to bring these together in the COOP Colloquium series to share, inform, and learn from each other. Each iteration of the colloquium focuses on a specific theme. It presents different perspectives and, of course, have a in-depth discussion around this. So the theme for this colloquium is how do we rebuild a resilient global society through cooperative identity. And this colloquium we are organizing in close collaboration with our friends and hosts from the IKOPIN University in Bandung, Indonesia. May also request our hosts and colleagues to please ensure that based on the housekeeping rules that we've already shared, when you're joining, please mute yourself if you're not speaking so that all the members of the audience will be able to hear well the speakers in the colloquium. All right, so this is where we start. I would now request Professor Yashwant Dongre, Chairperson of the ICA-AP Committee on Cooperative Research, to share his welcome remarks and set the context for this colloquium before we move forward. Over to you, Dr. Dongre.
Thank you, Mohit, and very good morning, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. I think we are still not yet good evening part of the world. I'm very happy to welcome all of you to this third colloquium of the bi-monthly colloquium series that we have started in the ICA-AP Research Committee. And I look forward to a very productive interaction in the next 1 hour. I would begin by welcoming everyone, and in particular the the IKOPIN University team, IKOPIN University team, in particular the Vice Chancellor Yuanita Indriani. Very warm welcome to you, and the entire team in the university who are not only making presentation today, but also are doing putting in best efforts in to organize the forthcoming conference. We are, I think, in a very critical stage as far as the world economy and society are concerned. Every time there is some crisis in the global economy, the one name that comes to the forefront is that of the cooperatives. So be it economic crisis, be it social crisis, be it a crisis coming out of the war or a disaster, every time an uncertainty comes in, the name cooperative comes up again and again. That's, I think, the reason why when there is a need for a very resilient society and economy, as an instrument to achieve that, we talk more about cooperatives. Now, the cooperative identity, which essentially talks about how do we maintain the distinct nature of cooperatives, our adherence to the cooperative values and principles, and through that create a world, create a society, create an economy that is people-friendly, that is environment-friendly, and that is something that is highly sustainable. I think we are all essentially looking forward to this kind of a sustainable model. And I remember during the International Year of Cooperatives in 2012, there was a very famous video that was produced by one of the cooperative groups, and they were making a reference to rebuilding of the global economy post 2007-8 economic crisis. And they had interviewed a whole range of people from businessmen to economists, to activists, and all of them trying to ask this question as to which could be the most important institutional alternative when we have to address the global crisis. And almost 90% of them, they were bringing in the name of the cooperatives. Some were saying it's only cooperatives. Some were saying maybe cooperatives. Everyone was sure that it is not the other dominant models, but a cooperative would be always a much better kind of a model. So we are today, I think, in that kind of a situation, and therefore exploring cooperatives, building a better understanding about cooperatives and a better faith about the cooperative movement is something that is very, very important today. So therefore, I would say that the conference that we are planning on this issue of cooperative identity also would be very, very important. I would look forward to that conference to set a new stage for some path-breaking research in that field, which we can actually share. I would be, of course, very eager to listen more about that as we proceed. I would once again welcome all of you, and also Mohit to set the ball rolling further. And I'll be all ears and mind to listen to what comes up in today's meeting. I think after our or in the process of our deliberation today, we would also probably get more idea about how we could proceed for our forthcoming conference as well. Thank you very much, and it's for you, Mohit.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Dongre, for setting the context of this very colloquium. Of course, also for our colleagues here to let you know that we are using this opportunity to also come together as a group and celebrate. Some of you may know on July 2nd, cooperatives all around the world will celebrate the 100th International Day of Cooperatives, which in social media parlance, we say #Coops Day. It is in fact a decade from the United Nations International Year of Cooperatives back in 2012, which showcased the unique contribution of cooperatives to making the world a better place. So this year's Coops Day slogan is "Cooperatives Build a Better World," which of course also echoes with the theme of the International Year. So we look forward to learning more about the work that you and your cooperatives are doing around this theme, and of course, around this theme of the colloquium itself. We will get to hear more from our co-organizers of this colloquium, the IKOPIN University. I take this opportunity to introduce you to Dr. Juanita Indriani, who is the Vice Chancellor for Research and Cooperation at the IKOPIN University. And she will be speaking to us about the university and the work that they have been doing with the cooperative identity. Thank you so much, Dr. Indriani, for your presence in this very important discussion. And we look forward to your remarks and the speech. Over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mohit, and very good day for everyone, especially for Mr. Dongre. This is first time for me to meet you, Mr. Dongre. Welcome and to ICOPIN University. May I share my presentation? Okay. Okay, let me introduce ICOPIN University. Our tagline is "The future is cooperative," because we believe that in the future time, cooperative is the best business entity for every single countries. And in Indonesia, we find for to make a cooperative is to make Indonesia better for welfare and also economic growth. Sorry. If we go through IKOPIN University history, it's not so smooth our journey, because we face with a very huge problem due to our regulation in Indonesia. Let's say the idea of founding Cooperative University was setting up since the first Cooperative Congress. It was in 1947. It's so long time ago. And it's still an idea until 1964 that the second Cooperative Congress initiated to found it Cooperative Academy or College. And in 1979, the idea of improve it institute. Sorry, the idea of improving cooperative college to institute or university is was created in 1979. And by then, in 1982, IKOPIN has founded, and we have 5 studies program. Since there and up to 2020, we are preparing to be university, because to be university is our dream. From the first time, we want IKOPIN to be university. But due to our regulation, especially in education regulation, we are not able to create cooperative university, because at that time, cooperative is not a science. Cooperative is just a knowledge. So we have to join with other science named management. So the name of IKOPIN is Institute Management Koperasi Indonesia, or in English is Cooperative Management Institute of Indonesia. And the dream come true in 2020, which university has granted, and we add 3 more study program. So if we show in brief the history of IKOPIN, we have a long bumpy journey. I said it's bumpy journey, because in 1964 to 1979, we still in academy. The form of school is academy, and we transform into institute in May 7, 1982. But still problem, as I said before, that IKOPIN want to be the Institute of Indonesian Cooperative. But because of cooperative is not a science at the time in Indonesia, in our country, so we have to convert not Cooperative Institute of Indonesia. So we use the name of Indonesian Management Cooperative Institute. We are restricted into management science, only management science. But in our dream and the fact in the field, cooperative not only need a management, cooperative need also support by multidiscipline science. So in January 11, 20 and 20, IKOPIN become university. So we glad of this achievement. So, in other hand, we have to facts and finding. What is we face with fact and findings? The first one is the erroneous paradigm about cooperative as the foundation of Indonesian economic democracy. Second one, macro policies that are still neoliberal. The third one, the development of science and technology, especially Industrial Revolution 4.0 and Society 5.0, which is corporate oriented. The world changing so fast, accelerated by the pandemic, including the innovation of the new age cooperative that grown from the bottom. And another one is government programs through the Ministry of Cooperative and Small Medium Enterprises, which are still conventional and directive. The crucial need for cooperative human resources who have integrity, competency, and adequate cooperative qualification could quickly adapt to the socio-economic ecosystem of the Indonesian people. The policy of independent campus and independent learning. So we face with so many facts and findings. And next is the cooperative movement is not only local, but also regional and global. We have to believe that countries who have a cooperative with the best development and improvement is have a good, a better welfare. Have a good, better welfare. Sorry. Then the growing initiative of the cooperative movement globally to address common problems related to the future of work and sustainable development. Universities and studying cooperative and cooperative entrepreneurship, but most of them are not yet full-fledged universities. And the last one is cooperative become a sustainable and resilient, proven during a pandemic. This is, we elaborate our fact and finding of the to develop a cooperative university in Indonesia. Okay, what are we doing for the future time? Okay, the first one, as IKOPIN, we want to be a center of excellence in cooperative field. The second one, IKOPIN will be a center for research and study of cooperative science as the initiator of the Indonesian Cooperative Journal with the writing of millennials and young people. The third one, incubator coopreneur or cooperative entrepreneurship in collaboration with successful cooperative identified in Indonesia. Next, a new generation cooperative development laboratory in collaboration with multi-stakeholder cooperatives that have proven successful. Cooperative data center in Indonesia in particular and Asia Pacific in general. So that's why we add a data science study program. And the last one, international cooperation with cooperative universities in the world. So why we are so eager to host the ICA-CCR conference. Okay. As I mentioned before that we add some study program. Our new study program in IKOPIN University is science data, which is really did by the cooperative, also agribusiness, because most of Indonesian are farmer and agribusiness is needed by the cooperative, and also food technology. Okay, Okay, what is IKOPIN University graduate? Is reflecting what we are doing in IKOPIN. We educate students in every study program in IKOPIN. We have 3 jenjang programs, especially for graduate, undergraduate, and also we have master program. The graduate from IKOPIN, we hope they are employable in success cooperative, in need of cooperative cadres for who are techno-sociopreneur. It is not easy to find techno-sociopreneur as a cooperative cadre. And the second one, cooperative agent of change. We also have a problem to find who is the cooperative agent of change. Because in Indonesia, people, especially young people, they are not eager to be a cooperator. Also, we create a cooperative scientists, cooperative technologists, and cooperative business specialists. That is the brief of our graduate. Okay, what is IKOPIN impact? We have we hope that our impact is the growth of new generation of cooperative in local community through our social work and also research, opening employee opportunities in growing cooperative sector, increasing population participation and income, and establishment of socio-economic solidity in the community, and build community welfare and wealth. So we hope our research and social program is beneficial for people in local, global, and also nationally and globally. Our challenge is cooperative literacy. People don't know what is cooperative because we don't have special program to educate people about how to cooperate with the better way or best way or a good way. Also, cooperative image is not too good in people mind because media especially, they blow up the bad news of cooperative. So in the people mind, the cooperatives is not so good. So we have to stakeholder involvement also still low. Let's say we have cooperative movement, and also government, and also people in the common, they are not so involved to cooperative. And also the last one is regulatory support. Okay, this become to our conclusion that what IKOPIN doing, IKOPIN University doing is we educate people, we educate student, regular student, not the student is not coming from the cooperative special, but we teach, we educate regular student, and also we do research and also social program to realize our dream. So our conclusion is taking into account of various development, put forward the change to become a university become a must. Because we know that cooperative is development is not only from management side. They also need technical support. They also need financial support. They also need networking. They also need technology support. Okay, so we have to become a university. The second one, cooperative education, which is a prerequisite for the progress of cooperatives in particular and the Indonesian economy in general, is a shared responsibility. The cooperative movement, cooperatives, and the government. In Indonesia, we also introduce the what you call it, ABCGM, or academician, government, triple helix or pentahelix, yeah, pentahelix, pentahelix introduce, and the final conclusion is that these two things are the embodiment of cooperative as a constitutional mandate. So in other hand, we are private universities, but in the other side, we have to embodiment of cooperative as a constitutional mandate. So then we hope that the conference will be enhance cooperative, Indonesian cooperative university to be the best university to make Indonesia better, and we can create the techno-sociopreneur as a cooperative cadre. Thank you so much for the opportunities.
Thank you very much, Professor Yunita. I think this was a very good opportunity for all of us present here, and of course the audience which will see this webinar later on, to get a better understanding of the journey of the IKOPIN University. It has a rich history indeed, as you rightly said. It comes a long way, right from 1947 all until 2022. So we will be very happy to note how this movement has progressed. There's just one question here in the chat box, if I may ask, and then we may move to the next one. Mr. Ranjan Mani Paudyal, I believe from Nepal, has asked this question about the statistics. If it's possible to give some data or some statistics about the Indonesian cooperative movement. Are there some numbers to know how large or how huge is the cooperative movement in Indonesia? How many cooperatives do we have, and what's the size and scale? Okay. We have, huge number of cooperatives in Indonesia. It's around 124,000 cooperatives in Indonesia. There are so many, but in a scale, most of them are small scale cooperatives. Also, the number of members. Maybe later on, I also read that Hera want to share the statistic of Indonesian cooperative. So for the
brief answer that we have so many huge number of cooperative, and if you ask further for the performance of the cooperative is the active cooperative is only around 30% of the total number of the cooperative. That's why the government want to close down the non-active cooperative. So the number of cooperative become smaller. And the size of cooperative reflecting by the size of business offset, I mean, and also the number of members is also not huge. Some of our cooperative they have a huge number of members and also huge number of business scale. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Professor Yunita, and I'm sure we will have an opportunity to know more about the Indonesian cooperative movement in what we have the 16th ICA-AP Research Conference very soon in Indonesia. Yeah. It's a great opportunity for colleagues, friends, cooperators from around the world to be a part of this very important event and the research movement in the Asian Pacific. So thank you once again for laying the groundwork on what is IKOPIN University and the work that it has been doing. We will now move on to the next presentation for the day. We will be joined by Mr. Mohammad Fareza, who is the chairperson of the organizing committee of the 16th ICA-AP Research Conference, and he will make a short presentation to help us through understand what are the elements of this research conference and how is it that the participants in this room here, and of course, who will see this webinar later on in the recorded mode, how will they be able to engage with this research conference, be it through direct abstracts being submitted for research or through other modes, and operationally, how would you be able to make it to this conference? So without further ado, I hand it over to my friend and colleague, Mr. Fareza. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mohit. Hello, everyone. I see friends, so many friends from Japan, from Philippines, from many other countries. Yeah. Okay. I would like to share with you some information about the CCR. Okay. Wait. Okay, the Asia Pacific Research Conference will be held in Bandung, West Java, Indonesia. And for the abstracts is we wait until the end of the month, yeah, June.
Yeah, that's right. So we have a good more than 24 hours for anybody who is wanting to submit final abstracts. This is a great opportunity. Until 30th June, end of day, is when we have the first list of abstracts. While we are at this, sorry, may I request Mr. Fareza, if it's possible for you to zoom in or have a full screen mode of the presentation?
Yes.
Yeah.
The organizer and local partners. The conference is organized by the ICA, of course, and Committee on Cooperative Research and IKOPIN University. This wants to bring academics and researchers on cooperatives in the Asia Pacific region. And the venue, or the theme first, the theme is rebuilding a resilient global society through cooperative identity. and the venue is in the IKOPIN University, in the Kawasan Pendidikan Tinggi Jatinangor, or it's the ecosystem of education in the West Java, in Sumedang. If you're searching on the Google, on the map, the city of Bandung is very beautiful, and we have many others culture and art performance in here. And for the tentative agenda, first date is December 15th, and the last day is Saturday, December 17th. The important dates: the June 30th, 2022 is the deadline for abstracts submissions. August 15th, notification to others with presentation guidelines. October 1st, deadline to register for the conference. And the event, December 15th, the workshop of young or early career researcher. And 15th to 17th is the Asia Pacific CCR Research Conference. Okay, the abstracts is interested to present their papers in the conference, need to submit an abstract, not more than 600 words. You can see the information on the social media. And the Young Researcher Award, maybe will bestow 2 meritorious papers with Dr. Maurits Bono Young Research Awards to researchers not over 35 years. Of age, presenting their papers in the conference. And the publication is exploring various options to publish peer-reviewed research papers with reputed journals and book publishers, and all presented full papers will be published in the 16th ICA-AP Pacific Conference proceeding. Okay, for the hotel recommendation, we give you some option. The first one is Sahid Hotel, and the second one is Aston Pasteur Hotel, and the third one is Ibis Pasteur Hotel. And the hotel is all from in the Bandung area. It is about 16 kilometers from the venue, from the IKOPIN University. I think that is, Mohit, the presentation from me.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Mr.
you very much,
Fariza.
Mohit.
Thank you very much indeed. The presentation, of course, is very important for all our 30-odd participants here from 7 countries who are expecting to engage with this conference at some level or the other. But as a curious participant, if I may ask, of course, the chief organizer of the organizing committee, why is it that you expect young scholars or early career researchers to participate in your conference in Bandung? Could you give more details and could you share some details about what is it that the participants will gain from coming down to Bandung and engaging in this research conference? if you could share some brief highlights of what is it that you have planned for the 15th of December itself, a detailed agenda of how is it that these young researchers will gain from this conference, either you or anyone from the organizing committee. If you can please share these details, I'm sure the participants will be very much interested and inclined to,
the
submit
detailed
their
agenda,
abstracts.
yeah.
Yeah, indeed. For not many participants
Okay.
in this room know already about the detailed agenda.
Yes, of
and
course,
especially
I
so
will
of
share.
15th of December. So if you can run through this agenda and say why is it that people might be interested, I'm sure there will be some more discussion around it.
Yes, this is the first date, yeah, Mohit. So registration, opening ceremony, and then welcome address, and the keynote address from the Minister of Cooperative Small and Medium Enterprises, Indonesia, and it's you. Introduction to the conference theme and structure. Then early career research workshop session 1 in the first day is developing the research path in Asia Pacific first-hand experiences, universities in Asia Pacific, and research projects with the chair as Dr. Sitzel Grinstead from the University of Newcastle, Australia. The event is on the 15th, yeah. And then the session 2 is emerging scholars in cooperative research. They like what type of research they do, what type of research they hire, or how is the job, etc. This include the life after PhD, the international opportunities postdoctoral research after the postgraduate, and research projects, publications, and what kind of academic career opportunities are there in cooperative research internationally. And this session will be guidelines by the chair of the Dr. Amy Du, the agronomist and cooperative specialist from Japan. And the next session is next steps, the summary and conclusion remarks, yeah, with Ms. Hera Herdianti, member the ICA-AP, the CCR Indonesia. The session will include the next steps, staying in touch, and feedback options. That is for the first day, the 15th December 2020. And the day 2, Friday, we have the introduction and structure from you, Mohit. And then the industrial track with the theme is rebuilding through cooperative identity. The speakers is Indra Sumahamijaya, the CEO of Cooperative and Digital Platform. The second one is Sena M. Luftika from Gapatma, Cooperative and Youth Involvement for Sustainable and Development Goals. Third is INCOR Federation. And then Randy Aditya from Rao House, the Tauhid Aminullah from Ken 8, and Ari Trinurini, the CSR, or Creating Shared Value. All the speakers is from PCC Indonesia or Platform Cooperative Consortium Indonesia. Okay. The next session is the 2 or 3 parallel research. Would be 8 or 12 presentations. With the chair is Dr. Hajan Yuanita Indriani, the Vice Chancellor of Research and Cooperation from IKOPIN University. And the other tracks is 2 or 3 parallel research. And the chair is Dr. Eun Ju Choi, the Vice Chairperson from ICA-AP CCR. And Saturday is final day, December 17th, with the industrial track, with the speaker from former governor, cooperative housing conceiver, Kampung Aquarium. The facilitator is Kopindo. The theme is strengthening resilience of cooperative communities. And the representative of Bank Indonesia and the representative of Gritera and from Gabungan Koperasi, GKSI from Indonesia. And the final event is the closing ceremony from the chairperson and the guest honor, Chief of Agency Co-ops and Small Medium Enterprises West Java, and thanks to from Mr. Mohit. I think that is Mohit for the event, for the whole event, and the the visit to cooperative. Yeah, we will visit to one of the largest cooperative organization in Bandung, in West Java, in Indonesia. I think that is Mohit. Thank you very much.
Thank you indeed, Mr. Fareza. I think that's a very interesting lineup of all the things that will happen in this action-packed 3-day event in Bandung, in Indonesia. I'm sure this is of interest for many researchers and early career researchers, young researchers who are interested in the topic of cooperation in general. So this will be of interest to them. As you have already laid down, 30th of June is the last date for receiving the abstracts. And the details of these abstracts are already present on your website, on the ICA-AP website, and in general on social media. We will recirculate this thing again this morning here in India. And of course, we will have some more. We are expecting some more abstracts to be received before we close the deadline tomorrow. Thank you once again, indeed. For
May I?
Please.
Yeah, just since you asked in particular about the young researchers workshop that we are doing, I just thought I'll also share a couple of additional things based on our experience of doing that in the last 2 occasions. We did that in Australia and we did that in India in our previous conferences. There are 2-3 very important gains for the young researchers who attend this workshop. The first one, of course, would be they will receive expert advice from the senior researchers, and their own individual research agenda would run through a kind of a scrutiny by the senior researchers and maybe gets polished. You know, they would get this better idea of how they can go about their own research. But apart from that, there is, of course, some support available in different countries for these young people. So it's a good exposure. Those who attend this workshop will also eventually participate in the conference and get to listen to a lot more research presentations. But I think the most critical thing is the young researchers will have a chance of networking. They will get to meet scholars from different countries. And it is possible for them to have this network even after the conference, keep in touch with them. And it's also possible that through them, there can be new opportunities coming up for the young researchers. So it's all in all, on the one side, there is an academic gain for them. On the other, there is a better exposure. And third and most important, there is a good networking possibility. And therefore, I would say all of you to recommend this workshop to young researchers. They may be research scholars, they may be master's students, maybe researchers who are newly engaging with cooperatives. Encourage them to participate in this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. Indeed, I was looking for, having you share our experiences in this Young Researchers Forum as well. In fact, we in this meeting also have the presence of our very good friend and colleague, Ms. Hira Hardianti, who also happens to be an early career researcher at the IKOPIN University and was one of the winners of the Morris Bono Award in Newcastle during the 2019 conference. So I don't know if Ms. Hardianti, you want to just share a couple of remarks about your experience as a young researcher, and why do you think cooperators around the world, young cooperators, young researchers around the world should engage themselves, should come down to Bandung and visit the IKOPIN University and of course be a part of this conference. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mohit. Thank you very much. And hello, everyone. I'm Hira, as introduced by Mohit. Yeah, I'm so lucky to join in 2019 in Newcastle University. And then in the workshop, I learned a lot, how to write, how to make a connection, and then broadening my network with all the participants, especially for the scholars, the senior scholars like Professor Morris Altman, Professor Akira Kurimoto, Professor Dr. Sid Sauls, and Professor Oliveira. It's so many professors who taught me a lot about how to, some makes me think that research on cooperative is really interesting, and then not many people do it. So it's just like we have so many opportunities to express ourselves and then to introduce our work as well for to broaden our network. That's what I feel about, and then I'm so thankful for that. And maybe the important thing for me is the research on cooperatives is not really like you have to be a good academic paper. I think in my experience, I'm not a good in the academic paper, but what I wrote is it is really from my heart and what I feel, what I know, and then they taught me how to make our writings is easy to understand by people. Sometimes the academic report or academic paper is a bit what is tiring for someone who not really love into the academic writings, but in a research conference in Newcastle, I found that it's really interesting to dive beyond academic writing. Thank you very much for the opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you once again. And yeah, we have a very good show here. I think 32 odd participants coming from around 6 to 7 countries, part of this colloquium this morning here in India, and of course afternoon and evening in your parts of the world. So this, of course, colloquium will be a starting point. As we just said, this is a starting point for the many discussions around a resilient global society and how can the cooperative identity be a means to achieve that. So this is indeed the theme of the research conference as well. And we look forward to engaging with our young researchers, with our cooperators from Bandung, from West Java, from all over Indonesia, and of course the Asia and Pacific region. And this indeed is a call for reminding all our academicians and young researchers to participate in this conference in huge numbers, and of course write about the topic in your country, in your region, in your locality, and see what are the experiences across the world on this very issue, and how is it that cooperatives in many parts of the world, with of course the local context being in place, are indeed rebuilding a resilient global society with the help of the cooperative identity itself. So thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for participating in the third iteration of the COOP Colloquium. We are running out of time, so may not be able to take any questions live right now. We, of course, have a few comments and very interesting discussions from some of our participants in the chat box. So we will share a recorded link of this very meeting, the COOP Colloquium 3.0, with all of you. We will request our presenters, both Professor Indriani and Mr. Fareza, to please share with us your presentations so that we can use them and send it across to all our participants so that it's very handy for them as well. Thank you once again for all the participants and the speakers for your time and availability for this very important topic. And as we said, this is just one of the starting points in the discussion, and we really look forward to having you join us in Bandung, in Indonesia, in December. And we look forward to seeing you there very soon. Thank you once again. Take care, stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, welcome to Bandung, Mr. Dongre.
Yeah, thank you. I'm looking forward to. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Looking forward to see you soon.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.